Hey, how you doing? Milsurp Garage here. I just thought I'd mention something. I'm in the middle of doing a rifle disassembly here on an acquisition. I always do my most serious cleaning when I first purchase something. Complete disassembly, right down to the last screw, and complete cleaning and soaking and everything. This is everything after that. Every other cleaning after that, I don't care if I own the gun for 50 years, I would just consider it a maintenance cleaning, and it doesn't really necessarily need to go this deep. But one thing I thought I'd mention is the importance of having compressed air. I almost actually blew something down because this is so strong. Compressed air. This is really important for any, even amateurish gunsmithing stuff going on. This is really important. And the way I made this nice and comfortable for myself is getting a nice nozzle like this, and this might be 60 feet. This is good for 300 psi, and I keep the compressor outside the garage, plugged in with an extension cord, and I run this because, it's not a compressor that can, like, you do a little bit of air squirting and it starts running, you know what I mean? It's a small compressor, so it's just running all the time if you're using the air. And man, you can't even hear yourself think. It's a pain in the ass. So one of the upgrades I did was to get a long hose like this, where I could literally keep the thing outside and connected with an extension cord, like I said, so that in here I use it, and it's just when it kicks on, I barely hear it. And this is important. I mean, even if you like gun scrub innards of something like this, you don't want to. You don't have to like actually disassemble this whole trigger. I shouldn't say I take them down to like the last little thing, because like with a trigger like this, it's not really necessary. They might actually do more harm than good removing it with punching those pins out, because those pins, they kind of have like a limited amount of times that they're going to go in and out. The worst thing would be to have those pins start to loosen up, and then things start to loosen. The trigger could feel wobbly. Who knows how many times they've been in and out before. If I see a problem where one of those pins after disassembly is actually moving around or sliding, I might actually take it out just to knurl it and hammer it back in so that it's snug. But like these, they're not moving. Everything looks good. It doesn't look like they've even necessarily ever been punched out. If you have to get in there to clean, that's a different story. But a good dose of gun scrubber, really spraying the crap out of this, it'll make those, anything that's in there, any gumminess or anything that's inside of there, it'll definitely astringe right out of there. But then, even though that stuff evaporates, there's just nothing better than giving it a good blast of air. You actually see the liquid that comes out would be dirty, and then if you spray some more gun scrubber on there or whatever you sprayed again, you just keep doing that until the liquid that you see comes out is clean. But nothing really cleans it as well as blasting the stuff that you put in there, or any of the solvents that are on and out of there with compressed air. Even when I come home with a gun from the range after after shooting it, the first thing that I do before cleaning it, before running patches through the barrel, before doing anything, is just the powder residues and the lead residues and everything, like little nicks that come off from chambering and anything that's in there, any of the dirt that's in there. Instead of actually sitting there and swabbing it out or trying to clean it with patches or whatever, I just take this thing and I just do a blast in there. I actually turn my face away, close my eyes, because you feel the stuff hit you in the face, all the stuff that just blows out of there. And you're like 80% done just after blasting it out with air for 2 seconds. You know what I mean? It really, really works well. But you have to be serious. You can't use like one of those little cans of air, like for a computer or whatever. I'm talking about, like it's gotta be. This thing is dangerous. You hit yourself in the eye with this, you're popping your eye out. You know what I mean? It's definitely a couple of hundred psi there, and that's what you need. You actually have to be careful with certain components. If you're spraying into an area that has small little springs, this thing could blast a spring right out of its seat, or bend it. You do have to be careful when you're dealing with, some fragile springs. Other than that, blast away. Yeah, people banging on my door. So that's the story. Compressed air. Where was I? Rudely interrupted. Compressed air. Yes, this is a must. If you go to a gunsmith to get work done and he does not have compressed air available, leave. That's my advice. Yep. Anyway, back to work.